had 2 kids, really tiny kids,
And you were a mother of 2 at 20.
yeah, at 2021. We were shooting in Sambar for Jodha Akbar. On that day itself, he needed the commander-in-chief to be there as well in the army. कुछ नहीं था वहाँ पे. My dressman was there. I told him, पेटी से सामान निकालो. I cut up the पेटी and I made an armor out of the पेटी. You still see it in the film because it was Mohenjo-daro. There were some little dried flowers and stuff which was there. I picked those up and I made accessories out of it. In fact, Pooja Hegde is wearing that whole headgear, and Ashutosh loved it so much that he actually did a song with that whole look.
There is still a lot of institutional bias for people कि जिसने निफ्ट से किया है उन्हीं को बड़े डिजाइनर्स के साथ काम करने मिलेगा. What will it take for us to showcase our Indian designs globally in a way that people want to buy it like they want to buy Louis Vuitton? How is your inventory like? And you also, designed the wedding dress of Aishwarya. असली में कितने पैसे की थी? होगी रिहाना, होगी बियॉन्से, साडा ता ए ही है नीता लुल्ला. Welcome Neeta to our show Wiping Up the Norm.
Thank you so much. That was such a sweet introduction.
Everybody knows about your journey. You've completed 40 years in the industry, so had to be a little different, मेरे को ये बहुत ही interesting सवाल है that people usually wait till they complete their education and then get married. You did something completely different. You married at the age of 16 just so that you could not study. आपको मतलब शादी से बिल्कुल ही नहीं डर था या पढ़ाई से बहुत डर था? आपने क्यों चूज किया इतनी जल्दी शादी करना?
डर नहीं था, पढ़ाई से भी डर नहीं था. I just didn't want to study.
And why was that?
It was not my calling at all. My calling was playing throw ball, playing badminton, table tennis, and play acting and stuff like that. But studying was never something that I mean, you meet all kinds of people. Some say I'm very dyslexic. I always say that I'm dyslexic. I hear people, I observe, I listen.
But why would people call you dyslexic?
No, I call myself because I hate studying.
Oh.
I'm like, I pick up a book and I fall asleep.
And that was the only reason why you decided to get married?
I was quite a tomboy and my dad once told me, तुम पढ़ाई नहीं करोगी तो मैं तुमको शादी करा लूँगा. I said, अभी.
Oh my God.
He was quite shocked. He said, I mean, are you okay with getting married? I said, yeah, if you're going to make me study, I don't want to study. I want to get married.
But how are you so bold enough to say yes to something like a marriage which involves so much of responsibility?
It takes all kinds to make the world, doesn't it?
I know. That's why you're here today.
Thank you.
Tell me, tailor और designer में फर्क क्या होता है? Because everybody who is stitching dresses or designing thinks that, okay, they can be a brand and they can become big, but only a few people can become designers like you are today. So, ये difference क्या है main? पहले तो starting with that.
You took me back to 1990 when I had just finished doing clothes for Jurva, and I got a call from this South Indian production, and they said, hello, can I speak to Neeta Lula tailor? And I was so offended. I was like, tailor? I mean, what did I study for, fashion design? Why did I do fashion design? But then I realized that people don't, at that point in time, it was very primitive. Fashion was primitive. And they didn't understand the difference in tailoring and fashion design as a career. Designers were just ebbing at that time.
Which year was this?
This was around 89, 90.
Okay, long back.
And so they wanted me to do clothes which were for Govinda, I remember, and they said, can I speak to Neeta Lula tailor? So I said, yeah, this is fashion designer Neeta Lula. And I took a lot of pride in saying that.
How did you start your concept as a designer, and what was it to be like a designer in those times in 1990s?
So there was never a concept of being a designer at that point in time because it was very primitive and very nascent. But for me, once I did fashion design, I thought I was getting into a hobby, that I would just learn tailoring and make new clothes. I was admitted into SNDT, which was a college for fashion design, and I took up the course, and post my graduation I realized that this was a full-fledged career. Even then I wasn't into fashion design, I was into fashion choreography. 2 years I worked with...
What was that? How is that different?
Fashion choreography is shows, show direction. The holistic advent of putting things for a fashion show, creating a fashion show, creating the dramatics around a fashion show.
Hmm.
At that point in time, also, we did a whole lot of magnanimous shows. We never did just straight work. There was dance, there was drama, there was a whole lot of backdrops and visuals that were used to create a fashion show. And they were done in the most exotic locations. I remember we did a show on a ship,
Okay.
and working with stalwarts like Jeannie Nauroji and Hemant for fashion shows, I started learning and directing shows under them. And then suddenly I got an opportunity to do a film, and I did that. And at the same time, when I started working on films, I did my first full-fledged bridal
Hmm.
um, outfit. My career started on this two-pronged trajectory,
Huh.
which I didn't realize where it was leading me,
Hmm.
and at that point in time, I was working with outsourcing from tailors. And then I realized that I needed to do this for myself and create an in-house workshop, because I had two kids, really tiny kids, and I
This,
needed to be at
how old
home.
were you at
I
that
was
time?
about 20,
Oh my
19,
God.
20.
And you were a mother of two at 20.
At 2021.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I opened this workshop at home, and the deed that I was, I because you must have understood when dad said, no, you study, I'll get you
Yeah.
married. So I didn't want to ask anybody for any money, to buy my machine. So what I did was I started to make sandwiches and sell sandwiches to school kids. I stay very close to a school. So I made my first 500 rupees and bought my first second-hand machine. And I used
Oh.
to cut the garments, and I had a machinist who used to stitch it. And then I realized that work was getting even more hectic. So I
Hmm.
bought another machine, with the kind of money I made. And I kept a master. So I used to explain to him. And then I had to even travel out, because shoots and photo shoots and styling was taking up a lot of time.
Hmm.
So I was moving out of the house and bringing in more and more machines. Of course, I was at home, work was happening from home, till I had about 6 machines and it couldn't fit into the house anymore
And that's when you got your first space.
when I got my first space.
People can't imagine now that they can sell sandwiches and start a
Yeah,
business
so
in this.
500 rupees, I got a brother machine, which was for a second-hand machine, which was brilliant, and I was so happy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still have that machine.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Who works on that?
Nobody works on that.
Oh.
It's too
It's
precious.
like
it's
put
just
it
yeah.
in a museum.
So yeah, that's how the tailoring stint started and went into becoming a fashion design stint.
And what was the kind of money that, fashion designers were making at back in those times in 1990s?
Radhika, you're taking me too back in time. I
That's my
really
job.
don't remember. But I would have been making some 10 to 15,000 a month.
Okay.
But again, spending a lot of money on making clothes for styling shoots. So I used to invest all that back into the business and back into my work.
Did you always have this ambition of making your designs as a brand?
I never had this in mind.
No, you were just enjoying the work that you had.
I was just enjoying the work. For me, that process was amazing. And at the time when I started my career, there was never a full-fledged plan in place.
Hmm.
Like today, I teach fashion. I've been teaching for the last 36 years. I interact with a lot of students. I mean, a 22-year-old student is telling me, I have to make a business plan, because once I graduate, I have to do this, and then I have to do that, and I have to do this. I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on. Finish your graduation. Understand what you're good at, introspect on that first.
Hmm.
And then go ahead and learn a little more in it, and then plan. The point is that for any student, initially to go with the flow when you're getting yourself educated is very important, especially because today we are not at a nascent stage. We are not at a developing or progressing stage of fashion. We are at the hilt of fashion, where everybody is out there, and at the click of a button, you know what's going on world over. Earlier it was like, अच्छा बच्ची घर पे बैठी है, उसको चलो टेलरिंग करा दो, फिर शादी कर लेगी, या फैशन डिजाइनिंग करा लो तो थोड़ा ग्लैमरस हो जाएगी और शादी कर लेगी. This was the case even up till I remember 1998, when I was teaching students.
Hmm.
When they said we've come into fashion design because we have to get married, we need a, it's like I'm going to get a good husband because I've done
Hmm.
fashion design. I think in that way, when you look at people who are getting into fashion, need to come with an open mind and an open thought process. It's about a lot of learnings and a lot of giving to the industry expertise. We have thousands of students who graduate every year. Out of them, how many become designers? So how can we culminate that interest into a full-fledged vocation
Hmm.
is so important today.
बट आपके साथ कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि किसी ने आपको पूछा हो कि आप डिजाइनर तो हो पर काम क्या करती हो?
I must give you a very funny anecdote.
हाँ.
In the industry. What happened was we had this complete disconnect from mainstream fashion and film fashion. So filmy, अच्छा आप फिल्मी कॉस्ट्यूम्स करते हो? नहीं नहीं, हमें तो फिल्मी कॉस्ट्यूम्स नहीं चाहिए. But then eventually the call to action was कि इस फिल्म का ये ब्लाउज बना दोगे आप, आईना का ऑफ शोल्डर ब्लाउज बना दोगे या डर का ऑफ शोल्डर ब्लाउज बना दोगे जूही चावला वाला. But that used to come. However, at that point in time, we had a lot of star sisters, friends who were doing clothes for the actors, and very few stalwarts who actually knew the work. Like Bhanu Athaya ji, or like Shalini Shah, Mani Robadi. These were the big ones. So I remember meeting Bhanuji at one shoot, and she thought I was the star friend who was there, who was making clothes. And she sat with me and she said, "Do you know what goes into fashion design? Do you even realize you guys make this in a fun business, and there is so much seriousness to what comes on the screen because it remains for years together. And just because you want to pursue this as a hobby, you just take it up and you sometimes you create a mess. You see the color use, the structure use." And I was quietly listening to her. I'm like, oh my god, here I was getting a full lowdown on the whole structure of the industry at that point in time. And she said, we as designers who are educated in this, sometimes it's very frustrating to see you people mess it up like this.
Oh God, she was telling you all of this.
And I was like very humbly listening to her and very quietly. And then I said, ma'am, I'm not her friend or sister or anybody. I've studied fashion and I have just started my career, and I've understood how costuming works. So she there was a very warm smile on her face, and she said, yes, because that is what's important in the industry, and the need of the hour of this industry is to have people who are educated and who understand techniques of clothes. And if that is what you are doing, you will really go a long way. And today the industry calls me a costume technician more than a fashion designer or a costume designer.
What's the difference between a technician and a designer?
A technician is someone who knows the holistic work. And if I'm put onto a situation on the set and I have to make something, I will make it on the spot. I can cut it, I can stitch it. I know exactly what technique is required for what figure type. I know what colors will go with the background that's been suggested. I can suggest that. I can hear a song and create a costume sketch listening to the song. This was very fondly, this costume technician, the name was given to me very fondly by the late Shri Yash Chopra ji and Manmohan Singh ji.
Well, Yash Chopra reminds me of a time which I heard you say in one of your interviews that, when you went to meet him, he looked at you and then Sridevi ko ne call kiya and then he's like, ye kya kapde banayegi, ye to western clothes.
He called her in front of me. In front of me.
Tell us more about that. What was the setting like?
So Sridevi sent me to meet with him, and she wanted me to do the clothes, and I went and I met him, and I was in my regular work clothes, which is a suit. And he looked at me and he said, तुमको देसी कपड़े बनाने आती है? I said, I looked at him, and at first, though, I was dumbstruck. I didn't know what to say to him, so I kept quiet. And then he called Sridevi. He said, तुमने इस लड़की को भेज दिया, इसको ये क्या कपड़े बनाएगी, ये तो सूट में आई है, तो इसको पता भी होगा कि कपड़े कैसे बनेंगे. So I don't know what the conversation was there, and then he said, चलो ठीक है, try करते हैं.
And this was all in front of you, the
It
call.
was in front of me.
And then what were the words of Yash Chopra after seeing your products?
He just patted me on the back, and he was like, fantastic, and subsequently the films I did, Lamhe and Dar also, we had a similar situation, but he was always, if there was anything he required, he would just pick up the phone and tell me कि ये dress बननी है, 2 घंटे में बनना है, 2.5
2
घंटे में
घंटा?
बनना है, and I would make it.
Just in 2 hours?
2.5 hours, yes.
Can you tell us about one of these incidents?
So we were shooting for Dar, the Tandav song of Juhi in the film, that 10-minute thing. And I think initially we had decided that Juhi would wear the outfit that she was wearing in the previous scene. And then I think Manmohan Singh ji, and he decided ki nahi, it should be something different because it's from her perspective of her thought process. So I get this call at about 12 in the afternoon. कहाँ हो? I said, I'm at home, sir. I'm just getting things ready.
This was Yash Chopra's call.
Yes. And he said, Acha, theek hai, you come to Kamal Amrohi Studios. I said, okay. I went there, and Manji and he was sitting there having chai, and they said, dress banni hai. I said, okay, sir.
You thought ki theek hai,
Yeah,
2-3
I was
din
like,
mein.
theek hai. So he's like, he's asking me, chai piyogi? I said, nahi. And Manmohan Singh ji was laughing. Manji was the cameraman, and so he said, ye dress bana dogi? I said, yeah, sir, why are you asking me this? Saying, nahi, hum lunch break ke baad mein shoot kar rahe hain. I looked at both of them, and Manji was still laughing about it. And he said, kar logi, tum jao, shuru karwa lo. I said, sir, 2:30 बजे तक आ जाना, 2:30-3 बजे के अंदर.
And
So,
this chatting was at 12 o'clock.
yeah, this was at 12.
हाँ.
So, and mind you, we have no cell phones, nothing at that point in time.
हाँ.
So I called my office and made a call from there, and I spoke to them. And those days, whenever you were shooting inside the studio, wherever the producer and the director used to sit when they were outside the studio, there used to be a phone over there kept,
Okay.
on a little table or something, and the connection was done. So I called and I told them what to get ready. And I said, I'm coming in 20 minutes because from there to drive to my house, my workshop was about 20-25 minutes. So we have to make it. I went, we got the dress ready, and I reached at 2:30, 2:45 back with the dress.
Wow.
That's the kind of work we used to do.
But what all did you do in these 2 hours to get it ready?
So-
And then if it takes only 2 hours, then how do you manage to do it in, suppose, a longer timeline?
So Radhika, I am one of the designers who has worked on almost 200 films.
Yeah.
Up until Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, where I had 1 assistant, and Devdas, where I had 4 assistants. And the assistant therapy of work started only around that time. And I was the only designer who used to travel abroad to pick up accessories and outfits. So Judwa, BV number 1, and all these kind of films that I've done is only on the basis of being able to prep clothes and being able to style them because of my background of styling. So, you know how to put things together and everything at that point in time. I used to have everything ready at hand. Like I said, I always invested in my money into buying things for my work. So even then, I knew that I had to keep some fabrics ready with me at all times. So whites were always there, lycras was always there, and sequences were always there. So I used to kind of coordinate and mix and match and make things. And whatever was not there, immediately somebody was sent to pick it up and come back, or I would drive myself to go pick it up and come back. So we used to have 1 or 2 runner boys, and that's about it.
बट ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि लोगों को पता चल गया कि आप 2 घंटे में ही बना देते हैं ड्रेसेस, सो दे ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड डिमांडिंग कि
Oh
हमें भी अभी
yeah.
चाहिए ड्रेस?
Oh yes. घूंघट की आड़ से song
हाँ.
for हम है राई प्यार के overnight 3 outfits. The industry knew that कुछ भी बनाना हो टाइम में बनाना हो we can tell her to make it and she'll do it.
कभी गाड़ी में आपने सिलाई की है जाते जाते कहीं?
Oh, I've had my tailor sitting in the back seat stitching.
रियली?
Oh yes, we've also sat outside the airport and stitched.
व्हेन वाज
So
दिस एंड व्हाट वाज दिस?
I was making clothes for this South Indian film called Jagadika Veeruduvati Lokasundari, and
दैट्स अ
the
वेरी बिग
clothes,
नेम.
yes, Admi or Apsara, you must see it.
ओके.
Some of the most cutting edge clothes for Sri Devi, which even today have become a source of inspiration for many directors. So, yeah, that was a film, and we could not finish the costume on time. Detailing. So the construction had to be, it was stacked, it had to be just finalized. And my Master Ji was sitting with one karigar in the back seat and they were stitching. We sat there till the car was standing and they were still stitching, and then till the time the cops came and told us ki gaadi yahan se hatao, so I had to get them out, and we all three ran to the airport. At the outside of the airport, they were sitting on the footpath and stitching it, and I was like, oh my god, let's just finish it on time, and we did.
बट व्हाई वर यू ऑल सिटिंग एट द एयरपोर्ट?
Waiting for the team to arrive to give them the clothes.
ओके.
So till the time the team didn't arrive, we had that much 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Every second counted. So we were just finishing all the last minute things and packing it in the bag and giving it away.
हाँ.
I mean, there's crazy amount of things that you do when you have to complete clothes on time. So
Yeah.
this was one of those.
बट ये तो
Crazy
चलो
days.
अच्छी बात हो गई that you could do it on time. ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि आपको कभी कुछ टाइम पे देना था पर वो हो नहीं पाया, and then what was the outcome of it?
नहीं, ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ.
Touch wood.
Never. There is a lot of technicality that goes into even cutting the garments and stitching it in a way that you can speed in that process if you don't have time. When you have time, sky's the limit.
आप पहले फायर होने वाले थे बॉलीवुड से, नो, when you started?
Yeah.
तो tell us about that story.
So, my first film Tamacha and my first costume, which was a very, very extensive song, 100 people on the set, dancers, and Amrita Singh and Bhanupriya and Kimi Katkar, all of them. And the first day was only Kimi Katkar shooting, and I had sketched this gorgeous white outfit with a lot of mirror work and stuff like that, and they loved the sketch. So I made the outfit, and I come from a mainstream fashion background, so the cut was according to what you, me, or anybody could wear it. And I took the outfit on set 9:30 in the morning, and the dress went in, and Kimi Karkar's mom came out and she said, "Come here." I went in and she said, "Is this how you make an outfit? Don't you know the difference in what is required in film costumes and what is this you've done? I mean, my daughter cannot wear this." And the shoot got cancelled. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I took the dress and I was almost like, I think my career's ended before it even started. As I came out, I had tears in my eyes, my face was red, and there was this old master who was standing there, and he was because by then everybody had heard about this, and they didn't know what to do because shoot had to be cancelled. So he came to me and he said, "Kya hua?" I said, I showed him the dress. I didn't say anything. I just showed him the dress. He said, he looked at it and he said, "आपने जो बना है ना वो आम लोगों के लिए बना है, ये it's not for a film costume." So he said, "आप you come to my workshop and I'll show you what's to be done. I'll show you what's to be done और कल के लिए ready कर देंगे." So I was like, "You think I'll be able to come here tomorrow?" And so anyway, and around 4:30, I went to his workshop in the evening, And he had opened out the whole piece very carefully. He had opened it out and he showed me. He said, "See, this is the way it's to be cut. This is mainstream cut, and this is how you have to do a costuming cut."
Mm.
And he showed me that. And I sat with him because I was so intrigued. I had never seen something like this. I sat with him through the night. At 9 in the morning the next day, I took the outfit for shoot.
फिर?
She took it in, and again she called me. She said, "Come here."
Well,
I was like,
wait, what did you anticipate this
I
time
was
when when
anticipating
she
the
called you?
worst. Because I said, "Ab to gayi, khatam." Again she's called me in the same way. I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "You got this done?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." "Any problem?" So she says, "It's wonderful. The fit is absolutely perfect." And she kissed me on my forehead and she said, "You will go a long way."
Wow.
So, us din se aaj tak. And I'm
Ah.
hoping another more 40 years to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the legacy will continue.
Yes, it will for sure.
Yeah, but for the legacy to continue, would you want others to stitch in your brand name, or would you think that ठीक है मैं जब तक हूँ तब तक ही ये brand मेरे हाथ से ही बना होना चाहिए?
No, I think a legacy is all about the brand going forward without you. I still have to find like minded individuals who are not fearful of the work that comes to them.
You haven't found yet.
I haven't found yet, but I don't think it's a difficult task. I should be able to find.
Yeah, all the students hearing, the fashion students, you know where to
Because
go next.
I think it's about fearlessly getting into a conviction that you have about your work.
You know, it really gave me goosebumps when you said the story of how your first interaction was and how the next day you changed your own destiny. You know, you didn't rely on what was being told to you and then, you know, go home and just sit over it. You were like, ठीक है, इसको better कैसे कर
I
सकते हैं?
think, Radhika, overnight I learned a whole new world of costumes. Even on set, like on Manikarnika, in half an hour I cooked up a whole armor on set.
Just half an hour.
Yeah, in half an hour.
How did you do that?
I don't know how I did that, but yes. We were shooting in Sambar for Jodha Akbar, 3 hours away from Jaipur, and nothing over there except one tin ka peti, and Ashutosh Kuvarikar, the director, realized that he needed, on that day itself, he needed the commander-in-chief to be there as well in the army. Although he was supposed to be there the next day. So he said, "Nida, kya kar sakte hain?" I said, "Okay, give me some time. Let me just think about it." And कुछ नहीं था वहाँ पे. And he's like, "क्या करोगी?" I said, let me just think. So my dressman was there. I told him, "पेटी से सामान निकालो." He said, "मैम कुछ नहीं है पेटी में." I said, "तुम पेटी से सामान निकालो." I cut up the peti and I made an armor out of the peti. You still see it in the film. Yes.
I can't believe this. The director Ashutosh must be shocked.
Everybody there was shocked because it was being done in front of their eyes.
Oh God. And the karigars were thinking कि आप पेटी के अंदर से कुछ बनाओगे.
तो there was only a dressman, myself, and one or two other dressmen.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you converted the peti into the dress itself. Your stories are like next level. I don't think so they exist today.
Yeah, so even Mohenjo-daro, we were shooting in Bhuj. And I was just walking around and I saw all these little trinkets, like must have been thrown around. And then I saw, because it was Mohenjo-daro, there were some little skulls and little dried flowers and stuff which was there, and feathers and stuff which had fallen on the whole expanse of the field. I picked those up and I made accessories out of it. In fact, Pooja Hegde is wearing that whole headgear. Was done with all the junior artist beads and all the stuff that I found on the floor. And Ashutosh loved it so much that he actually did a song with that whole look.
Don't tell me he conceptualized a song because he loved the look so much.
He loved the look. In fact, even Subhash Ghai, in Tal, conceptualized the entire look of his introduction of the song on Aishwarya, because he found the back of the gown very interesting. So he was like, "Ye tha nahi gaane mein, but I'm going to put it." And if you see the song, her back is to the screen,
Hmm.
and you see the entire detail of her back, and then the song starts.
Wow. And you've also worked with Sanjay Leela Bhansali in Devdas. I mean, he's known for his details. तो कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि आपने सब कॉस्ट्यूम बना दिया, उनको दिखा दिया, he's like, बहुत अच्छा बनाया तो है आपने, पर ये जो धागा है इसका कलर बदल सकते हो क्या? आप कोई
Oh
कुछ और बना
yeah,
सकते हो क्या?
with Sanjay you can expect anything. So Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam was a cakewalk as um, compared to Devdas. So Devdas, the finale, where Paro's running
हाँ.
down the steps and the pallu is burning. So all our clothes were ready, and it was a puja sari. It was a red and white sari, and we had just finished filming Dola Re Dola, and the next day we were supposed to do this. So at about 9 a.m. in the night, he said, "Let us see the next day's costume." So we got it because it was ready, and he looked at it and he said, "Nita, I know I told you it has to be a cotton sari, but the thing is that I've just kind of visualized her running down the stairs with this pallu burning. So I need a silk sari for the flutter, and I need expanse. So I need at least 15 meters or whatever on this." And that was the only sari, the puja sari, that we had done of 5.5 meters. The rest, all the saris in Devdas were about 16 meters, 12 meters. And he said, "I need two because one burns, the other one is
हाँ.
there, you know." I said, "Okay." He said, "But what are we going to do now? How will we manage it?" I said, "I don't know, but can I leave?" So he was like, "Huh, but what do you plan to do?" I said, "I don't know. Can I leave?" And this is happening in Filmistan studio,
हाँ.
Goregaon. Again, no phones, no mobiles, nothing. And only we had pagers
Hmm.
those days. So so in front of me, Aishwarya and he have called up Kiran Kher, and everybody to find out if they had two identical puja saris. And all this while I'm saying, "Sanjay, can I leave? Can I leave?" He says, he said, "Okay." Then they realized that it was not available.
हाँ.
And by this time it was around 10:30 at night.
Okay.
So he said, "Okay." He said, "But can I shoot tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, you can shoot tomorrow."
Hmm.
And I left from there. I went out. I went to a phone booth, and I had paged this guy who owns a shop on Linking Road. I said, "I'm calling you, so please pick up, give me a number." He sent me a number. I called him up, and I said, "See, I need a whole thon of white fabric. I need a silk. I need 10 meters of red silk, and I need some other fabrics. So I'm coming to your store, and please open the store." So he says, "Ma'am, I can't open the store. I'm partying. I'm not in Bandra. I'm in town, and I can't even go home to pick up the keys
Because their
because
father
I
will
am
get him
partying, and
drunk. Yeah.
my father will see me. I'm like down a few shots and stuff." I said, "But now you're done. If you don't go and get the keys, I'm going to tell your father. Now you decide."
You picked up his soft spot, huh?
Yeah, I had no other go, so I said, "Now you decide."
Hmm.
So he said, "Okay, okay, I will do what has to be done. I will send my wife up to get the keys." I said,
Hmm.
"I don't know. I am reaching from Goregaon to Linking Road. I will wait there.
Ah.
You page me when you've got the keys or whatever, and you come." He came there at 12:30. I took the fabrics, and in the interim, I had already called my embroidery team, and they had started stitching these small borders and sleeves and everything. We finished everything at 6 in the morning, two saris, and I reached back in the
Ah.
morning for shoot. 9:30 is when we used to always start shoot, and that's how the shoot happened.
Wow. What were Sanjay Leela Bhansali's words when you got the sari and he didn't know what would you do when you
Yeah,
said that I want to leave?
yeah. So I mean, he was obviously ecstatic. Pat on back, and
Ah.
they know. Then that's how they know that you can count on this technician.
Hmm. Yeah. You seem to be like a go-getter. Like you also don't know how would you do it, but you
No,
know
no.
somewhere that you'll do it.
I'll do it
Huh.
for sure.
And was this the guy whom you asked to open the store familiar with you already? Or
Yeah.
oh,
Absolutely.
कोई नया होता तो आपको लगता है कि वो खोलता
नहीं तो
स्टोर?
मैं पूछती ही नहीं.
नहीं, पर अगर जिनको आप जानते हैं वो अवेलेबल ही नहीं है.
But see, because of my work, I used to go to a lot of stores myself and pick up fabrics. So people knew.
That's an important
And-
point actually.
And how is it that I could do so much work in such a little span of time and no assistance? I used to go there and look at the shop, all the racks. And there were times when I used to call and tell them, आपके ये वाले रैक में ना लेफ्ट साइड पे ये 2 नंबर के रैक में ये कपड़ा रखा है, ये मुझे चाहिए.
Oh my god, you had a picture memory.
I still do that. I still do that.
But how is it to work like, with actors like Aishwarya and Devi? What was their aura like? Because it said that celebrities, when they enter a room, they carry an aura with them. And there is something different about them. So how was it when you met them or saw them for the first time? I know that you wouldn't be like...
don't know. I mean, it was all about work. I remember all my assistants in Jodha Akbar saying, oh God, ma'am, Ritik, can we come and, dress him up or whatever? I said, please do. To see them transform from these real people to
characters,
to these beautiful characters that you see on screen is a treat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one aspect that I think I see in my interaction with people. Especially, we used to see it a lot in Sridevi ji and Aishwarya and a lot more other people as well. Bhanupriya, Kimi Katkar, simple to the core, even when they used to come to work, dressed very simply. But the minute they were in this entire look, bam, it was another world you had entered.
Yeah. But how was it to design for Jodha Akbar? Because you had to travel back in time and see like what the real designs were.
Jodha Akbar, we could not use a lot of silks and brocades, because the cameraman Ketan was doing all the work on just basic lighting. There was no artificial lighting. So if we had brocades, it would shine and make the whole look garish.
Yeah.
So we actually worked on mull fabric and did a lot of detail embroidery that looked like brocade for Jodha's lehengas. So we had a very matte finish to the lehenga, so it wouldn't glare out. And that's how the fabrics were made as well. So this is an interpretation that we brought to the table.
And that's probably why you're called as costume technician, because designers won't exactly know how this would work, because you have to really be on the sets and understand
I
the
think it's a lot
effect
of
everything.
experience and a lot of learning that you get from being there, doing so much work, that it comes naturally to me.
Like on the set, I remember that Juhi Chawla, she used to take care of your child when you would come on the set. So how was that equation with Juhi Chawla?
Fabulous equation. She was a very lovely person. Very, very lovely. She was very fond of my daughter Nishka. And my daughter's this affinity to pinks is thanks to Juhi. Every time she traveled out for shoot, she would bring something pink for her. And a pink dress, a pink bag, a pink something, florals. So Nishka's entire demeanor and statement is very girly. It's very like Juhi, and all her style statement is all about pinks and bohemian and flowers and everything. Juhi was one person who would look at an outfit on a hanger and say, no, I'm not going to wear this. And I was like, at least wear it and see if it looks good or not. So we used to have a lot of difference of opinion like that. So even if she was upset or she was, waiting for me to do something, she was busy talking to Nishka or playing with Nishka. So that was the kind of equation we had.
Why would she do it? Did you ask her?
No, there is no reason for her to reject it, and there's no reason for her to accept it. It's all about the aesthetics, right?
Yeah. After
After she wore the dress, she said, no, it looks good. I'll wear it.
Oh, and you had to convince her to please wear it and see how
At
it
least
looks.
wear it and see. So this was the only one person with whom this would happen. But the rest, once you discuss with them, like
Hmm.
even Joey, once you discuss, there were times when she used to say, "You wear the outfit and show me if it looks good. I'll wear it." I'm like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh
So
God.
that's the kind of camaraderie we had.
And you also, designed the wedding dress of Aishwarya, which people assumed is like
Yeah.
crores and crores of rupees. असली में कितने पैसे की थी? और उतने पैसे की क्यों थी? ऐसा क्या था उस ड्रेस में?
इतने पैसे की क्यों थी? There was no उतने पैसे की क्यों थी. I mean, it is a regular Kanchipuram sari.
हाँ.
And there's a regular blouse with little bit of zari work. So you do the math.
But tell me, how does this equation work with celebrities, when they actually want you to design for their personal occasions, like weddings, which is like the biggest in life? So, how did your equation with Aishwarya start? Was it with the movie Devdas, where she got to know about you and your designs?
No, my equation with her started when I styled her for her first look test with Yash Chopra ji.
Okay. Which was
She
for
was
which
supposed to
movie?
do Dar. Then she went off for the Miss World pageant. And then after that, when she came back, because of my interaction and making her understand the kind of work and what's required, she asked me to do her first. Her first film was Iruvar with Manya Ratnam sir. Second film was Jeans. She asked me to do jeans for her.
But do you think working back then was more easier than now when there are too many structures in place?
We were challenged with not having brands. We were challenged with not having accessory brands to easily get to style a shoot or to style a magazine cover. Everything had to be made from scratch. So that gave us a lot of insight into how to do things on the job. So there it was more hands-on approach.
Yeah.
Today everything is available.
Yeah.
So and it's so easy to get things. But then the competition is on how do you make those things look different, because everybody's got access to it.
Once you become a brand, everybody wants to use your name to sell it into the retail market.
Oh, tell
So
me
ऐसा
about it.
ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि people are selling you your own first copies only?
So Kuli number 1, I was told at a small little shop that नई साड़ीज आई है, आपको बहुत पसंद आएगी. कुली नंबर 1 में शेडेड साड़ीज किसी ने नहीं पहना, आपको चाहिए, अब बता दो. Till the time the owner of the shop came and gave him one on his head and said, इन्होंने बनाया है. And Devdas, I was in Bangalore and I went to the store to pick up something for the kids, and they told me there are these new sarees that have come, Devdas, and Neeta Lulla personally gives it to us. So I said, okay. And every 15 days we get new Devdas sarees. You should see, ma'am. You come, let me show you my collection. So I said, all right. And I said, when you get your next collection, I gave him my card. I said, please let me know.
What was his reaction after seeing the card?
You can imagine his reaction. It's okay. So it happens very often. I mean, it's okay.
Have you also seen people open shops in your name?
So there was this little shop in Mahim which said, till I had to actually tell him, bhai, tum nikal do wo naam.
When was this?
This was about 10 years back. I took a young master to do clothes for men. And he was he was very close to the workshop, and I started giving him work. The next thing I see is after 2 months, he's got tailor for Neeta Lulla.
Oh God.
It happens. I mean, there's all kinds of experiences you have.
It must be so funny for you to watch your own name like that. You're like,
I was in shock at that point in time. I was livid. So how can he do this? But today I'm laughing about it.
But in your bridal collection, which is very expensive for certain category of people, yet very aspirational, तो कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि people have said कि हमारा हनीमून का बजट तो हमने आपके लहंगे में ही डाल दिया पूरा, क्योंकि हमको आपका ही नीता लुल्ला का ही लहंगा पहनना था शादी में?
हाँ, होता है. It happens. I'm not going to say no, but I am a consumer's designer in the sense that if you've spent that much, I will not allow you to waste it.
How?
people come and say, oh, ये बनाना ये महंगा है, लेकिन अभी का ट्रेंड क्या चल रहा है उस हिसाब से बना लेंगे.
Hmm.
It's not about that. It's about understanding what you will look good in. What
Hmm.
is the color that you will wear later?
Hmm.
And what is it that after removing it from 20 years later from your wardrobe also, you want to wear it, you
Yeah.
like it, and that's what a lot of brides who have dressed, even after 20 years, I may not recognize the face,
Hmm.
will come and say, you made this outfit then and I still wear it and it still looks good and it's still in fashion.
Hmm.
It's only because of the fact that I work with the style statement of the consumer,
Hmm.
and I keep an element of classicism in the clothes,
Hmm.
because these expensive clothes are like jewelry pieces.
Yeah.
And you want to wear it, you want to hand me down to your daughter or your son or your grandchildren.
There is still a lot of institutional bias for people कि जिसने निफ्ट से किया है उन्हीं को बड़े डिजाइनर्स के साथ काम करने मिलेगा. There are some people who only choose people with that degree. How is that with you? What kind of team members do you hire? What pedigree do you look at?
Is that so?
हाँ
And I'm
मतलब
asking you this seriously, is that so?
yeah,
Because,
yeah, as per what I've
as
spoken.
an academician,
Yeah.
I will tell you that there are two sects, classical sets of students.
Hmm.
Students coming from metro cities are more business, styling, design inclined, and students coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities are more craft inclined.
But what's your scheme of requirements for people who can work with you? I know Bold and Rebel is one. That's a given. Uske alawa, what skill sets do you look at?
Common sense and the ability to just go forward with, a conviction to do it, complete a task. Would I hire a person who comes and tells me, I'm very happy to work with you, but I want to work on this? Or would I pick up a student or an intern or an aspirant who will say, I know about your brand, and I've understood the ethos and the ethics of the brand, and I'm ready to work with it. So which one would you pick up as?
Yeah, of course, the latter.
So that's what it is.
But have you ever thought of taking private equity money into your business? Like Anita Dongre, she's,
Yes.
grown it into a very big brand, taking money from private equity giants like General Atlantic. So how do you see your business growing in that segment?
So I am featuring this in the scheme of things for going forward,
Yeah.
and I think we should be doing it very soon.
Oh, lovely. So how many stores do we have now, Pan India?
We had 2 stores, 2 flagship stores, and we retail out of a whole load of stores. But now we have one store Mumbai, and we are in the process of opening 2 more stores.
There are stores like Purnia's Pop-Up, which is like a sum total of all the brands. Do you think that putting your brand there makes it more visible and you get more sales from there, or having your own exclusive store is more better in terms of making the sales? From where is the revenue more?
So depends on what part of your brand you're retailing out of there. I mean, Anita Lulla Couture will not be at any of the brands.
Just only at your store.
Yeah, but a Nishk by Anita Lulla will be in all these brands. Because anyways, the sweet spot of your sale is a particular price point. And if it is adhering to the same price point with the retail stores that you work with, then you work with them.
But do you think people ultimately would want to touch and feel your product before buying?
A
Or just
couture
placing an
garment,
online
a
order?
couture garment is always about touch and feel.
Yeah.
Because you will not buy jewelry online, right?
Hmm.
You won't spend 6 lakhs and 10 lakhs and
Correct.
20 lakhs on jewelry
Yeah.
online. You want to go feel it here, look at
Yeah.
it, make 10 people see it, and get it approved, and then. So it's the same.
How much pressure do you have to reinvent, as per the changing trends and the fast moving world?
So I had a pressure of not reinventing. I never had a pressure of reinventing.
Yeah.
Because I'm a person who gets very bored with stagnancy. Of creating the same thing over and over, season after season after season. In fact, I remember I had a few people from the media saying that, oh, she doesn't know what to make, so she's constantly making different things.
Hmm.
But as a couturier, reinventing is what is important.
Hmm.
You know, you are not making mass produced clothes.
Hmm.
You can't make 100 of one outfit and then sell it and say it's couture,
Hmm.
because couture is a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, you're dealing with a client, you're dealing with innovative silhouettes and structures and fabrics and cuts and finishes,
Hmm.
and that is what it is. And for me, I have a certain philosophy which is constant, which is stagnant,
Hmm.
which has started ever since I was in college.
Okay.
You know what my calling is. Like I say, you have to introspect and understand what your calling is.
Hmm.
My calling was always about incorporating Edwardian romantic silhouettes like ruffles, frills, off shoulders, and necklines and stuff, with a lot of Renaissance motifs and colors,
Hmm.
and making it Indian at heart, which is my label as well,
Hmm.
which says Neeta Lulla, Indian at heart or proudly Indian,
Hmm.
which has Indian elements of fabric, like a
Yeah.
brocade, but the motifs on the brocade will be Renaissance inspired,
Hmm.
and the cuts on the lehenga will be off shouldered or corseted.
Hmm.
So these are the kind of things that I work with.
What's the
Changes.
season like for you?
For me right now, it's about bold is beautiful, romantic is flirty and sensuous.
Hmm.
So my coming lehengas are going to be working towards that.
You also did a campaign around, girls being magical and wonderful, which you presented at Lakme Fashion Week.
Because you are out there in the glamour field, it's important that you voice certain issues or statements that the society is facing.
Hmm.
So I have done a lot of shows which have been inspired by issues that women face,
Hmm.
whether it's female feticide, women empowerment, uh, women power. A lot of these kind of topics I've touched upon, those have been my inspirations.
What kind of waves does it create after you do that?
Oh, it creates a lot of ripples.
Like, what's the outcome of
Definitely.
it, if you can
So
explain?
my collection for female feticide that I had done was so well received that the media in London wrote about it, and I
Hmm.
was invited to Rome to showcase the collection at the Rome
Wow.
Fashion Week.
I also wanted to touch on this topic of new fashion, which Urfi Javed is, portraying into the media. So, what's your take on her kind of fashion?
It's a new look. I think Urfi has a very strong statement to
Hmm.
make. I think what she is doing creatively, what she is trying to bring to the table for her own work, for her own style statement, I think she's very strong. And her carriage is fabulous. She can carry it off with so much style and so much confidence. I mean, it's commendable.
Why do we not have any Indian label become as big as maybe what Prada is now? It was also started by a young women designer when she started out. Why don't we have an aspirational brand coming from India which is known globally now? Like Nirav Modi in his time, although leaving the scam aside, he had created that global image for himself where he had all his posters also on Times Square and it was an aspirational brand. So, like, what will it take for us to showcase our Indian designs globally in a way that people want to buy it like they want to buy Louis Vuitton?
Why is it that international designers don't have weaving?
Yeah, that's our culture.
So we have grown up to that culture, right?
Yeah.
Now, internationally, they have grown up to the culture of design.
Hmm.
They have not grown up to the culture of weaving.
Hmm.
Now, a lot of international designers are using woven fabrics, which are coming out of India,
Hmm.
embroideries that are being sourced out of India.
Yeah.
So the awareness is there.
Hmm.
So it's only a matter of time when the awareness to Indian designers is going to be out there, and a company will probably pick them up and bring them on the international
Yeah.
scenario. And we are coming of age, and that is the reason
Hmm.
I always say that India needs an industry that is supportive through the craft.
And how is your inventory like? How do you decide कि ठीक है ये collection अभी off the shelf करना है?
We now work with season to season.
Hmm.
Earlier, we used to work with spring, summer, autumn, like they did in internationally.
Hmm.
But now we work with our bridal season, because if you're a couture brand, you're working bridal season to bridal season.
Hmm.
If you're a pret brand, you're working summer and winter.
On that note, I really thank you for coming and giving your time. And I also want to ask ki, you know, people who come here who are authors, they get the books. People who are chef, they get macaroons. आप भी मेरे लिए dress लाए हैं कोई?
I haven't got your address, Radhika, but yes, you're most welcome to pick up something from Nish.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
But I'm not kidding.